Welcome to today's class, Biology Form 4. Our topic is support and movement in animals. The objectives of the lesson are: number one, by the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to define the terms support, movement, and skeleton. Number two, state the functions of the skeleton. Number three, list reasons for movement in animals. Number four, name the types of skeleton. And number five, describe the adaptations of the exoskeleton. The first thing, what is support? Support is the ability. Support is the ability. Support is the ability of organisms. Is the ability of organisms to bear their weight. The ability of an organism to bear their weight and maintain their body posture That means that organisms that are not able to bear their weight and cannot maintain their correct body posture, those organisms lack support. The next term is movement. Movement is the displacement. Movement is the displacement. Is the displacement of parts. The displacement of parts of the body. Of parts of the body of an organism. Displacement means change in position. For example, plants will show movement by opening their stomata for shading of their leaves, opening their flowers, dropping of the seeds and fruits dispersal. Animals, on the other hand, they have a type of movement that involves the whole body. That type of movement that involves the whole body is called locomotion. So locomotion, this is a type of movement. This is a type of movement. This is the type of movement that involves the whole organism. Or a motile cell. For example, the sperm cell. The sperm cell is able to move from one point to another to facilitate fertilization. That type of movement shown by the sperm cell is called locomotion. The next term is skeleton. Now, skeleton is a firm and rigid framework. Is a firm and rigid framework for support. Firm and rigid framework for support of the weight of the animal's body. So keywords in skeleton is that skeleton is firm and rigid framework for support of the weight of the animal's body. It is the skeleton that allows animals to have support. Our next part, we're going to discuss the functions of the skeleton. Functions of the skeleton. Functions of the skeleton. Functions of the skeleton. Now, the skeleton has the following functions. Number one, the skeleton provides support. From the definition, the skeleton provides support to the weight, provides support to the weight, provides support to the weight of the animal's body, the weight of the animal's body, to the weight of the animal's body. The second function of the skeleton is that the skeleton gives the animal's body, its shape, The skeleton is the one that makes the animal's body to have a particular shape. Number three, the skeleton provides surface. The skeleton provides surface for attachment. Provides surface for attachment of body muscles. Site for attachment of body muscles. Number four, the skeleton provides protection. The skeleton provides protection to internal body organs. Those are the four main functions of the skeleton. Our next part is reasons for movement. Why do animals move? Reasons for movement. We say that the type of movement shown by animals is called locomotion, which involves the whole body. So one reason why animals move, number one, is search for food. Number two is to escape. Predators and hostile environment. To escape predators and hostile environment. Number three is to look for mates. And breeding grounds. Then number four is to obtain. Animals will move to obtain favorable habitats. Then the next part is the types of skeleton. Types of skeleton. Now, there are three types of skeleton. Number one is called hydrostatic, or you can call it hydroskeleton. Hydrostatic or hydroskeleton. Hydroskeleton is found in atoms. This one is found in atoms. Number two, we have exoskeleton. This type of skeleton is found in phylum Arthropoda. Number three, we have endoskeleton. This type of skeleton is found in phylum Chordata. Those are the three types of skeleton. Our next part, we are going to discuss the adaptations of the exoskeleton. The adaptations of exoskeleton. The exoskeleton lies outside. The exoskeleton lies outside lies outside the body muscle, lies outside the body muscles. It lies outside the body muscles, and it is found in phylum. It is found in phylum Arthropoda. Arthropoda. Now, classes of Arthropoda include Crustacea, Chilopoda, Diplopoda, Arachnida, and Insecta. Those classes contain exoskeleton. The exoskeleton is made of a substance called chitin. The exoskeleton, the exoskeleton is made of chitin. Chitin is a polysaccharide. Chitin is a polysaccharide. Is a polysaccharide. Now, chitin normally is not evenly distributed, and this allows flexibility at the joints to facilitate movement. The exoskeleton is secreted by epidermal cells. The exoskeleton, the exoskeleton is secreted is secreted by epidermal cells. Is secreted by epidermal cells. Is secreted by epidermal cells. Now, because the exoskeleton is found on the outside of the body, normally it undergoes shading. So the shading of the exoskeleton is called molting. The shading of the exoskeleton, the shading of the exoskeleton is called molting. It's called molting, or you can call it ecdysis, molting or ecdysis. This is the shading of the exoskeleton. Why is the shading important? The shading is important because this allows growth. It allows growth to occur. It allows growth to occur. Another form of the exoskeleton is that the exoskeleton supports the exoskeleton. The exoskeleton supports the internal tissues. Supports the internal tissues. Supports the internal tissues and this is because it is rigid. And this is because it is rigid. It is rigid and firm. It is rigid and firm. The exoskeleton is also waterproof. The exoskeleton is waterproof. Is waterproof to prevent desiccation. To prevent desiccation of internal organs. Prevent desiccation of internal organs. This means that the exoskeleton prevents drying of the internal organs. Apart from that, the exoskeleton provides surface for attachment of organs and muscles. The exoskeleton provides surface for attachment. Of organs and muscles. In addition to that, the exoskeleton is also modified. The exoskeleton is modified into wings. It's modified into wings for flight. Modified into wings for flight. In addition to that, the exoskeleton is also modified. The exoskeleton is modified to form hard mouth parts. To form hard mouth parts for biting, piercing, sucking, and grinding. The exoskeleton is also pigmented is pigmented for camouflage, camouflage. Camouflage is the blending. Camouflage is the blending of the body surface. Blending of the body surface with the environment. With the environment. This characteristic is important in predation. Lastly, the exoskeleton is transparent to allow entry of light into the eyes. That brings us to the end of today's class. Until next time, bye for now.